The pale man in room 313. The arrival. Winter's grip had turned the city of Greyhollow into a frostbitten tomb. Snow hung motionless in the air, and the gas lamps hissed against the cold. The Crowhurst Hotel stood near the city's edge, 5 floors of silent velvet, old carpets, and secrets sealed behind brass-handled doors. It was on the evening of January the 4th that Inspector Elric Vale was summoned there. He wore no uniform, only his usual black coat, silver-tipped cane, and the expression of a man perpetually annoyed by other people's incompetence. The letter that brought him was brief.
A man was murdered in room 313, but the door was locked. No one entered, no one left. We found him sitting, smiling, and cold as glass. Please come at once.
Signed by hotel manager Lillian Broxley. Vale arrived just before midnight. The locked room, room 313, had a single window bolted shut and a heavy oak door, both locked from the inside. No signs of force, no secret passages. The man, a guest by the name of Dr. Felix Marr, was found seated in a red armchair by the fireplace. Unburnt logs, stone-cold hearth, and he wore the expression of a man who had heard something only he understood. A faint smile, not madness, but acceptance. No wounds, no marks, no spilled drink. His notebook, still resting on the side table, was filled with patient names and psychological ramblings. Dr. Marr had been a psychiatrist of great reputation and controversy. Vale ran his gloved fingers across the spine of the notebook.
Death with no visible cause in a locked room,
he muttered.
Either magic, which I don't believe in, or someone thinks they're cleverer than me.
He turned to Lillian.
Who last saw the good doctor?
The housekeeper said he requested no service all day. The only visitor was last night, an old friend. Name wasn't logged, but the doorman said he was pale as bone and wore a smile that didn't reach his eyes.
Charming.
The witnesses, Elric Vale questioned the staff. A pattern emerged. Several mentioned a guest, tall, white-haired, silent, who'd been seen entering the hotel over the past few nights, but never checked in.
He never blinked,
the bellboy said.
Didn't leave footprints in the snow,
muttered the doorman. Vale dismissed the embellishments, but one detail held weight. The mysterious figure always came after midnight, always headed to the 3rd floor, always gone by dawn. He returned to room 313 and examined the fireplace again. Something glinted in the ashes, a thin silver capsule, scorched at the end, like the kind used to hold powders. Poison. He held it to the light, sniffed. Not poison, gas.
Interesting,
he said almost to himself, the truth beneath. The next morning, Vale took Marr's notebook and spent hours in the hotel lounge, reading, rereading. Dr. Felix Marr had been treating a patient known only as Mr. R, a man with severe paranoid delusions and a belief that his soul was being hunted.
He says the pale man visits him at night.
Ma wrote.
Sits in the corner. Says nothing. Just watches. I dismissed it at first. Now I feel like I'm being watched.
Another entry.
He believes the pale man is death. Not a metaphor, a real figure. A thing with skin like fog and eyes, like silence. He calls him the ghost that knocks twice.
Vale closed the book. Something scratched behind his eye. An idea. The reconstruction. That night, Vale requested the room be left untouched. He locked the door, sealed the window, extinguished all light, sat in the same chair where Ma had died. The hours passed slowly. The city howled in the distance. Then, a soft knock. Once, then again. He rose slowly. Nothing. No one at the door. No movement. No shadow. But on the mirror across the room, 4 words had appeared in breath-fogged script. You shouldn't be here. Vale didn't react. He returned to the fireplace, removed the cover of the vent behind it. Inside was a silver canister, identical to the one he found before. This one was full, a faint ticking sound inside. He left the room at once. The ending. In the hotel manager's office, Vale laid out his findings.
It wasn't murder. It was suicide, but engineered to look like a haunting.
Lillian blinked.
I don't follow.
Dr. Marr was obsessed with his patient's delusions. He began to believe them. Believed he was being followed by this pale man. It wasn't supernatural, it was psychological collapse.
Vale showed her the gas canisters.
He designed a slow-release gas hidden in the fireplace vent, put himself to sleep gently, smiling not from peace but surrender. The knock, his own paranoia or imagination, right before death.
Lillian frowned.
Then who wrote on the mirror?
Vale paused.
No idea.
Epilogue. Elric Vale returned to his home. A narrow townhouse on Varro Street. Hung up his coat, lit the fire. He opened Ma's notebook one last time. On the final page, written in a different hand, there is no pale man, there never was. But if you believe in something long enough, hard enough, maybe it starts to believe in you. Vale laughed once, closed the book, then somewhere behind him. Knock, knock. He turned. The room was empty, but the mirror fogged. Now I'm real too. 4 new words appeared.